What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, back with another Prize Picks video for you. Today is Friday, February 24th, 2023. We have 8 games on the NBA slate to talk about. Also, it's Flex Friday, so another great way to help build bankroll. Definitely not lose money. Definitely will help you not lose money. So, hope everyone is doing well today. Hope this video finds you in good spirits. And first, I thought we could just quickly recap some of the plays from yesterday. I feel like it was a pretty solid night for us. I think we hit on a lot of props, and then we didn't hit on a few. And there were some things that happened later that day that we really couldn't predict happening. And so let's talk about that real quick. Josh Giddey over 30.5 PRA over. Kelly Olynyk over fantasy, but under on PRA. Still was in a great game environment and spot. I would take the over on his PRA and fantasy again moving forward. Mitchell under his 26.5 points, finished with 22. Nikola Jokic over 35.5 points in rebounds and over his 23.5 points. Aaron Nesmith over 18.5 fantasy points. Tyrese Halliburton over 38.5 fantasy points and over 27.5 points and assists. Jason Tatum over 29.5 points. De'Aaron Fox over 26.5 points, but under his 10.5 points and assists. We had John Morant finish under 8 assists, but we had Embiid finish over 3.5 assists. In terms of our unders, we had Miles Turner spoil the damn party. He went for like 50 points yesterday, so forget about that one. Jeremy Grant did not play late game scratch. Drew Eubanks finished over 17.5 PRA by 0.5. Obviously, when I made that pick, Jeremy Grant was in the lineup and starting. That late news of him being out definitely kind of threw that one off. Dylan Brooks did finish under 11.5 points. I don't care how close he got to hitting it. He finished under 12 points, which makes it the 10th game in a row he has not gone over his point prop. LeBron James under 41.5 PRA, but he did finish over his 13.5 points and assists, so 2 for 2 on LeBron James. So overall, a pretty solid night. I hope you're able to follow and tail some of these picks. I hope they served you well. And without further ado, let's get this going. I got 3 players on the board right now that I want to go through and let you know what I like about them and why I'm playing these guys. And then I have a few additional props that I don't have pulled up yet that we'll go through as well. So if that's cool with you, it's cool with me. Let's get this going. Let's start with Trae Young over 24.5 points. The line on this is minus 140 to go over. This is going to get bumped. But looking at his game log versus Cleveland, this year he's already faced them and gone over this and put up 10 assists as well. Games before this, 3 games prior to this season, 35, 41, and 30. He's basically averaging 30 points and 10 assists in those 3 meetings. Love the over on Trae Young here tonight. Minus 140. Looks good. I just like this environment and I like the game history for Trae Young over here. Let's talk about Zach LaVine over 32.5 PRA. Now, DeMar DeRozan will be back for this game. It shouldn't matter because even with DeRozan in the lineup, Zach LaVine has gotten his. So pulling up his 10-game log, this is with everybody available. I haven't made any adjustments to the filters. 5 out of his last 10 games, he's gone over this without DeRozan in the lineup. 7 out of his 10 games without DeRozan going back to last season. But even just going into this season, 5 out of 6. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 32.5 to me feels a little low, and we were looking at his points. Yeah, really nothing changes here. 32.5 feels a little low for Zach LaVine at home. I'm going to go over on his points, rebounds, and assists. And let's talk about Gabe Vincent under 18.5 PRA. When you see Gabe Vincent's game log, you're going to think I'm crazy for wanting to take the under on his PRA. But before you overreact, over his last 10 games, Gabe Vincent has given you over his last 5, 24 PRA, 13.5 over his last 10. The big difference is Tyler Hero's availability. So without Hero in the lineup, Gabe Vincent's game log just turns green. Incredible production without Hero in the lineup. Any game that you see that Gabe Vincent has exceeded his PRA prop has been without Tyler Hero in the lineup. Let me pull up Tyler Hero's game log here. The last game Tyler Hero played was Orlando on the 11th. Let's go back to Gabe Vincent. And when did Gabe Vincent's little run start? On the 11th. You can say, what about this game against Indiana? Well, let's look at that. That game against Indiana, Tyler Hero did not play. So basically, Gabe Vincent goes off when Tyler Hero is not on the floor. But just something I thought I'd share with you that stood out to me in terms of his game log, and something I feel like we can exploit today. Now let's go over 3 additional players that I identified some props I want to take advantage of. Starting with Jared Allen. I like his fantasy score tonight versus the Atlanta Hawks. I like the over on this one. But initially what I had my eye on was the over on his points, rebounds, and assists, 26.5. When you do the math and add up his points, rebounds, and assists, plus his steals and blocks, he's averaging roughly 38 fantasy points, 38.5 fantasy points over the last 10 games. And that's the average between the 5 and 10 games. So roughly 38, we'll call it 38 fantasy points. When you look at Jared Allen's minutes over the last 10 and 5 games, he's giving you 34. So let's go 38 divided by 34. Jared Allen is giving you 1.1 fantasy points a game. You want to call it 1.12? 1.12 times 34 minutes. That's 38.08 fantasy points a game. If Jared Allen plays 34 plus minutes tonight, I like the over on his fantasy points. And in my opinion, it's very difficult to hit fantasy score and not hit PRA. I think his PRA is a little low, but for now, we'll go more on his fantasy points. All right, in yesterday's early look video, we talked about LaMelo Ball and what I wanted to see on the board. However, we didn't really have full status on injury news and all those things. Looks like Kelly Oubre is back for the Hornets today. Should be coming off the bench. However, I don't know what that does to LaMelo's production. Obviously, it makes them a better team, but in terms of his facilitation and his usage, I don't know how much that cuts into his usage as well as Rozier's usage. Another thing that stood out to me in looking through, this game and who's available, you got Mike Conley on the other side and Jaden McDaniels. So Mike Conley, pretty good defender. Anthony Edwards, pretty good defender. And then you have Jaden McDaniels, who is a really underrated defender for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So you got 3 quality defenders on the other side. Any one of those can throw a wrench in LaMelo Ball's scoring. However, what I am looking at on the over are his rebounds and assists, because if I feel like Minnesota is going to cause enough problems to where LaMelo Ball isn't going to get his in terms of points, does that turn him into more of a facilitator? Does he do more through rebounding and assists? Does he get his teammates more involved? Possibly. So on top of that, LaMelo Ball over his last 10 games has really been exceeding that rebounds and assist prop. I thought 17 was too high last game versus the Spurs. He finished 20 with 22. So that's my theory on LaMelo Ball. Under on his points, over on his rebounds, and over on rebounds and assists. And then my last play, kind of a dark horse. I like Sengun over 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So let's pull up this game log here and let's just look through some of these games. Now, I know this doesn't look all that great, and that's why it's my dark horse. But he's playing a Golden State Warriors team that allows quite a bit of rebounds per game, middle of the road versus centers, and allows a lot of points to the center position as well. If this injury news holds true, then there will not be a Jalen Green or a Kevin Porter Jr. in this game. So we know what that does. Well, we know what that should do for the usage of Sengun and Jabari Smith, Kenyon Martin Jr. as well. But I just think Sengun's in a great spot. I think he can get back on track. Like, they gave up 24 PRA to Mo Bamba. Is that true? Mo Bamba? Plumlee's good center, 16 PRA, and then Ivica Zubac, 15 PRA. So none of those teams had the injury news, had the injury, status going on that the Rockets do with two of their top scorers out, right? So I like the way this looks for Sengun. I'm definitely going to put this into a 6-pick flex for Sengun. I don't want to play this in a power play. So let's look at a possibility for a 6-pick flex. I like Jared Allen over his fantasy, Ball over his rebounds, Sengun over PRA, Young over 24.5 points, Gabe Vincent under his PRA, Zach LaVine over 32.5 PRA. Got that locked in, taking advantage of the Flex Friday promotion. Also locked in that Trae Young and Zach LaVine prop as well, because I do feel like those will get bumped up at some point. But there you got it. There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by the channel, checking this video out. Really appreciate the time you've taken out of your day to do so, coming over to the channel and just chilling out, talking some props on Prizepicks with me. Do me a favor, drop me a comment below. Let me know who your favorite props on the board are. Also, let me know what you think about these props, these picks, my insights, my observations. Do you like them, love them, hate them? Do you want to leave them alone? Either way, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for the support, the likes, the subs, the comments, helping this little channel get a bit bigger every single day. I really, really appreciate it. And until my next video, Saturday's final look video, no early research video on the weekends. Like to have those mornings open on the weekends, but there will be a final look video. And until that final look video tomorrow afternoon, Chavez is